have my I have my wig doll's head, and I have the wig. You don't have to do this, but I just find it easier for myself when I put it on my head. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to pin the edges of the hair, ear to ear first, onto the mannequin head. So I don't know if you can see this, but I've basically pinned the hair from ear to ear and at the top, just to secure it. And what I want to do is, I'm just going to brush the hair backwards so it's out of the way. Now that it's out of the way, I'm just going to pack it back. So I've packed the hair back, and what I'm going to do now is just going to pick out the baby hairs, and then I'm going to take my toothbrush at least on my edges, and then I'm going to take my ORS wrap mousse, and I'm literally just going to mousse the edges down and just brush them up just and down so that I have all my edges at the bottom, or I have all my edges here, and then I have all the rest of the hair at the back, so that when I put it on my head I don't have to struggle trying to find all my baby hairs in the wig, basically. Okay, so now I have like laid all the baby hairs down here. Like I haven't properly laid them, I've just made sure I've just separated my baby hairs from the hair. So now I'm going to apply it to my head. So I'm going to tell you guys what products you're going to need for this. Obviously you're going to need the ORS wrap mousse, any mousse. That was just to lay the edges, you don't have to do that, you can use water. A comb, your toothbrush for your edges, that's a teeth, for anyone kind of has to say anything. A brush, they got to be glued blasting spray, some water, and some Eco Styler gel. I use a pair of cut-up tights to lay my edges down, and then just for the purpose of the video I'm going to be using these gold hoops to decorate my hair, and maybe I will use this got to be glued gel, but I don't think so. I don't really use it anymore, but I've just got it just in case. If you don't need to use all of these products, this is what I just have in hand just in case for when I do this hair. You use what works for you, my darling. So yeah, I'm gonna tie the hair back, but just don't tie it too much because it's just gonna pull. It's gonna pull the sides of the hair back too far, and you don't want that. I always have trouble with the sides here. That's the bit that always lifts up for me the most, but because of that I always make sure I secure it. Okay, so I'm just tucking it behind my ear, just bringing out the sides here, and then I'm going to take the mousse. You could use water if you don't have mousse, and I'm just going to lay those edges down again. And this just really helps because it's just really fiddly to do it on your own head, but obviously it's still achievable without the polystyrene head, so don't fall any type of way. What I did do before this, like what you could do as well before putting this on your head, is putting a bit of powder on the bottom of the lace. So I can use my contour shade and put it on the lace of the hair, but I realised, because I've washed the hair, so I realised it's not as dark as I want it to be, but you can still do it after, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Now I'm going to take my Eco Styler gel and the toothbrush, and I'm going to lay the edges. Now before I used to do it with the got to be glued gel, but I kind of felt like it was really good at securing the hair, but I felt like it would make the hair really hard, and sometimes I think it would cause the baby hairs to, ooh, are you recording? It would cause the baby hairs to get really crunchy, and it would cause them to fall out really more faster than normal, basically. So I prefer to use the Eco Styler gel to put the baby hairs in place, basically. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I've had this for how long, and now it's coming to an end. Okay, so I've got my Eco Styler gel, and I'm just going to place it on the hair. And the reason why I like to use the Eco Styler gel is because my hair, with the got to be's gel, it kind of makes your hair, like the edges go white, and it really wasn't pleasant for me at all. I didn't like it. Make it look somewhat natural. Do small swoops, not really gigantic ones, because that's what I used to do before and it didn't look nice. And then when I'm swooping, so when I sweep it onto the hair, so it swoops and then goes back onto the hair, basically. Obviously you could leave it like this if you wanted to, but that's not going to secure anything. That's just literally laying the edges down. By the time you've had to gone out for a bit, I would have just... Thanks for dropping the bin. That would have just moved around basically. Okay, so now what you need to do, my darling, is you get the got to be glued blasting spray. I love this. I prefer it way more than the gel because it doesn't make my hair look white, and it just, I feel like the hold is much more better. And what I do is I just spray my baby hairs, and I kind of put quite a bit more on the sides here because that's the bit that tends to lift up. I get something and just, I'm not letting it dry too much, just a little bit, like, and then I'm gonna wrap it. And obviously I'm not doing this on my actual hairline, I'm doing it in front of my hairline. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this really, sorry, don't judge me, but it's a really like dirty, from the glue of course, it's just a really dirty pair of tights that I've just cut from the leg basically. And, excuse me, what you do is you get the thing and you lay it on your edges and tie it underneath the hair, and do it a bit firm, like tie it somewhat tight but not too tight that you hurt your head. And that is it for the edges for now. For the braids now, what I do is I just lower this just up until the hairline. When I'm styling this hair, if I'm doing that type of like style braids or anything like that, I always make sure I lay the edges down so that they don't move, because if I do this while the hair is wet, for example, I'll just put hair in my eye. Oh my god, hair in my eye. Yeah. If I do this when the hair is wet, it's just gonna move all over the place, babe. It just makes sense. And this wig has baby hairs at the back, so you aren't gonna, and it's hand tied, so you won't see any tracks or anything like that. So you can literally put it where your heart desires. And then I'm so sorry, I can't explain how I braid the hair. I'm just gonna braid it. When I'm braiding, I'm always careful of this part of the hair because that's the bit I said to you that always moves. So I try to make sure that I don't pull that bit of it. I don't pull it too much, basically. As neat as I would have liked it to be, but I've been taking this in and out for how long, so it's gonna have to do. And I'm kind of just doing a low braid. It's not like all the way over here, it's just a low one because I just don't want it to pull the wig. But you could still do that, you just need to put extra hold, and I prefer it low basically. I like the way it fits my face like that. well compared to the other one. I'm just going to do the same thing where I'm going to plait it all the way to the bottom and then I'm going to twist the end so that it stays in place. Obviously you don't have to do this hairstyle, but I just thought it was a nice one, and I wanted to show you how natural your wig can look, even if you don't want to spend a lot of money, because this wig was really inexpensive. It was only $59.99, and for how versatile it is, I think that's really good, and it lasts a very long time. I still have the other one I bought. Sorry, the camera cut. I was saying that it lasts a very long time. I still have the other wig that I previously bought, and I do have a review on this wig and the information on this wig, so I will leave a link down below to that. And I've also done some other videos on how to style this hair, so I'll leave links down to that if you are interested. I'm going to take the gold. Oops, I'm so sorry, I don't even know what these are called, but I got them when I went to Nigeria. Had these for years. And I'm just going to put a few in my hair just to spice it up a little bit, you know? So you don't have to do this, but I just want it to be a little bit cute too. Yes, honey! Give it to them with the cuteness. Sorry, I just realised I left the TV on in the background. Just ignore, I apologise if that was... I'm so stupid. Okay. I'm not going to put too many, I don't want it to be too much, but... And that's it, that's all I want to put. Not too many. I'm going to take the headband off, and I'm just going to make sure that when I'm pulling it, I hold the edges. I don't want it to pull nice. And anywhere that you see that might be a bit white from the product, why do you keep turning off? Just a little bit of water will do the trick. I'm just going to get the contour shade that I use, and I'm going to add it to the parting.